You know what's interesting, Vortex? I'm so glad you asked. What's interesting, Amy? Say you. What's interesting is that the more that I learn about the world that I live in, the more that I learn about my religion, the more that I learn about people in general, the more that I read the Bible, the more attempts that I make to try to be somewhat normal or whatever the fuck. It's like the more I just turn right back around and do what I was always doing. The thing that always worked. Being yourself works. It's just that people don't know who they are. So you can't really make that suggestion. It doesn't matter if people understand you. The only thing that matters is if you understand you. You know? It's like I've made a lot of decisions that I regret, you know? Well, not now, because I can learn from those decisions. But at the time, I really regretted those decisions. And I hated myself and I beat myself up. That's what this whole arm is about, okay? This one time I got really drunk and I took a knife and I cut myself. Actually, it wasn't a knife. It was a pair of scissors. We have to get the weapon right. It was... Who knew that you could cut yourself with a pair of scissors? Who knew that until preteen girls came around, you know? Preteen girls and boys that listen to The Cure. But, yeah, it's a good band, though. Who doesn't want to be Robert Smith, you know? But there's just a lot of stuff that I've done that was probably stupid or silly or really, really self-destructive, as self-mutilation tends to be. But it's like all the stupid things I've done were either based on me taking advice that I didn't want to take in the first place, or me getting mad at myself because I took advice that I didn't want to take in the first place. Oh, this is my favorite song. It's the best song of the whole album. In case you're wondering what we're listening to, this is Fleetwood Mac. Then play. Okay. And Peter Green was one of the greatest guitar players ever. Now, if a hipster listened to the song, they'd probably assume that it was Kings of Leon. And not just based off the vocals, but based off of the style that he's playing in. Is that blues? It started off as a blues bland. Fleetwood Mac. And then the gals took it over and transformed it into this band that was, you know, all about debauchery and cocaine. It wasn't just the girls. Here's the thing. Women can drag down men. It's really easy for us to do that because we have tits, okay? Men want to fuck. They do. But they need to be held accountable for that. Like, you need to be more in control of yourself. You can't just blame women for everything. Women didn't force you. You know, we can't do that. We technically can't do that. We're not physically capable of, like, raping men the way that men are capable of raping us. So, a lot of these situations that men get themselves in is because they're totally pussy whipped. And they want that attention. They want that sex. They want that validation. You know? You should learn how to get that from something that's not a woman. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tell men what to do. By the way, Adam, I totally agree with you. It doesn't matter if you're gay or not. You should never let a woman tell you what to do. That's so true. I'm trying to help you, like, trying to help all men, okay? Not trying to infiltrate the manosphere. I'm just strongly suggesting that worrying about pussy is not, that's not a valid concern. Like, you should be worried about yourself, and the right woman will come along, and hopefully she won't completely screw you over, but more than likely she will. Exactly what I'm made to do. But anyway, what was I talking about? Taking shitty advice, right? Taking shitty advice. Like, okay, so a while ago I shaved under my arms, which I'm sure many people that watch me wish I would do, but I don't want to. That's why I don't do it, okay? Well, I did that and immediately regretted it. And I had all these people, these really fake people that I was going to an AA meeting with. Yeah, and that's another... Ooh, didn't mean to stick that up my nose there, but... going to AA meetings, that's not something I would normally do. I would just not drink and call it a day. But, yeah, so all these fake-ass people at the AA meeting where I was in attendance were, like, just coming up to me going, "Oh, thank God you shaved your armpits. That was so disgusting. That was just so gross. You totally made me sick." If something like armpit hair makes you sick, you clearly don't know how bad this world is, okay? That's just the aesthetic. It's just aesthetic, that's all it is. It's just a social norm. But anyway, I digress. We're not going to get into that because it's petty shit. It's petty shit. They don't know any better. They're of the world. You know, appearances are all they care about. That's why the world's falling apart, but who cares? Anyway, what was my original point that I was trying to make? I think the genuine gist of what I was trying to say is go with yourself. But like I previously stated, you know, people don't know who that is, you know? When you tell somebody to be themselves, but it's like their whole life revolves around, you know, who they think they are on the internet, or like what's popular, or like what people are doing, you know? I've tried doing the popular stuff. I've tried going along with things that the world goes along with, and I just feel like shit about it because my natural tendency is to not do that. And not to be cool, not to be rebellious, not to be weird, not to be obstinate, not to be contrarian. It's just the way that I naturally think. And as you know, obnoxious as that might be to some people, I really don't mean to be obnoxious. It's just the way I'm wired. Just like many people are wired to stand in that line and upgrade their phone and get that new iPhone 14 or whatever the fuck and pretend that that's the next step. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to get. That's how they're supposed to behave, you know? Like, I'll never understand that. Like, the way that people don't question that, that's like a whole system that they're not questioning of a particular line of thought that's just so nihilistic, and it's not conducive to any element of spiritual growth, you know? Why would I want to do something that's totally opposite what I really believe God wants? I guess my God conscience is just yelling and flaying, and, you know, I've done a lot of bad things in my life. You know, I used to be a thief, a slut, a drunk. You know, being a drunk was really the best one out of all of them. But, yeah. Bad news.